In this lecture, you'll learn the role of physical security in protecting your organization's digital and operational assets. You'll explore essential control types, real-world risk scenarios, and how physical safeguards complement cybersecurity strategies. As a security leader, your job is to ensure physical controls are not an afterthought, but a foundational part of your defense-in-depth strategy. No matter how strong your firewalls are, they mean nothing if someone can walk into your server room and plug in a rogue device. Physical security breaches often lead to digital compromise, and in many cases, they bypass your most advanced cybersecurity tools. As a leader, you must treat physical controls with the same level of strategic importance as your technical defenses. You're not just protecting infrastructure, you're defending access, uptime, integrity, and trust. You begin with securing your building's exterior. This includes fences, gates, bollards, and security lighting. You may also use barriers and landscaping to control vehicle access. Your goal here is to prevent unauthorized access and create visible deterrence. As a leader, you should regularly review perimeter assessments with facilities and physical security teams. Next, you need to secure building access points. This includes badging systems, key cards, PIN access, biometric scanners, or turnstiles. Each entry point should be logged and monitored. You also need to enforce tailgating prevention and visitor escort procedures. Physical access must be tied to roles, just like digital access. You must ensure that access logs are reviewed and aligned with HR events like onboarding and offboarding. Critical infrastructure like data centers, server rooms, and telecom closets must have layered protection. These areas should include man-traps, multi-factor access, surveillance, and alarm systems. Only authorized personnel should enter, and environmental controls, like fire suppression, cooling, humidity sensors, must be in place. As a security leader, you must ensure that access to these spaces is reviewed and audited regularly. Use cameras, motion sensors, and real-time monitoring to track activity in sensitive areas. Surveillance is both a deterrent and an investigative asset. You need to ensure recordings are retained according to policy and securely stored. Combine surveillance data with logs and alarms to gain full visibility into physical events. This integration is especially important during incident investigations. Physical security also means protecting systems from non-human threats like fire, water, temperature, and power outages. You must implement fire detection and suppression systems, uninterruptible power supplies, backup generators, and environmental monitoring. Your data centers are only as secure as their physical operating conditions. Don't overlook the human side of physical security. You need to ensure that evacuation plans, fire drills, and shelter-in-place procedures are defined and tested. You must also train staff on how to report suspicious behavior and respond to security events. Safety isn't just a compliance issue, it's part of your resilience strategy. As a cybersecurity leader, it's easy to focus your attention on firewalls, SIEM alerts, and endpoint protection. But if someone can walk into your building unchecked or steal a device left unattended, all your digital defenses can be bypassed in seconds. Physical security risks may seem low-tech, but they're often the root cause of devastating breaches. Your job is to lead with a full-spectrum mindset, because resilience starts with the basics. You might assume that your server rooms are safe, but if someone can bypass entry controls, even with a stolen badge, you've got a serious vulnerability. Imagine a contractor gaining access and installing a rogue wireless access point inside your network perimeter. This type of breach turns a physical intrusion into a full-blown cyber risk. As a leader, you need to ensure that physical credentials are controlled, monitored, and deactivated immediately when compromised. It only takes one person slipping in behind an employee to compromise your entire secure zone. This is called tailgating, and it's surprisingly common, especially in high traffic or understaffed areas. An attacker who bypasses credential checks can gain unrestricted access to workstations, printers, and even sensitive rooms. Your job is to instill a culture of challenge and check, and reinforce that access control is everyone's responsibility. You could have all the technical controls in the world, but if a laptop with sensitive data is stolen from an unlocked office, it's game over. Device theft, especially after hours or during business travel, remains one of the most overlooked physical risks. You need to enforce policies for physical device security, require encryption, and ensure endpoint detection is active even on lost or stolen assets. A power surge may sound like an IT problem, but when your data center goes dark without UPS or backup generators, it becomes a leadership issue. Without contingency planning, a brief outage can lead to hours of recovery time, data loss, and reputational damage. As a leader, you must validate that your physical infrastructure has power resilience built in, and that it's tested regularly. You don't expect a burst pipe above your server rack, but it happens. Water damage is an often neglected risk that can physically destroy your equipment, force downtime, and cost hundreds of thousands in recovery. It's your responsibility to ensure that sensitive equipment is housed in properly protected environments with environmental monitoring in place to alert you before it's too late. Having a fire suppression system is only useful if it works correctly. An outdated system might discharge accidentally, damaging your equipment, and worse, fail to put out a real fire. This is a risk that spans both physical safety and business continuity. You must ensure that fire suppression systems are tested, maintained, and appropriate for your hardware environments. Your job isn't just to respond after something goes wrong, it's to prevent it from happening in the first place. Physical security risks are often more visible and controllable than cyber threats, but only if you take ownership of them. Walk your environments, ask the right questions, and embed physical threat awareness into your team culture. Remember, cyber incidents often begin with a badge swipe, a door left open, or a pipe that nobody checked. Your leadership is what turns those details into defenses. So, what's your leadership takeaway? You can't lead security effectively if you only focus on cyber threats. Physical incidents, unauthorized entry, theft, environmental failure can cause just as much damage, if not more. The good news? They're often easier to prevent. Your job is to take a proactive stance, integrate physical risks into your threat model, and ensure your teams are trained to recognize and report them. Security leadership begins at the door, not just at the firewall.